Because even if you don't deserve to be killed, you invite the potentiality of violence when you are armed and being aggressive. You need to be more responsible.
Can someone link it? I didn't find it.
I think like even without looking at the video, breaking it down, there's a conversation closer here that can happen without frame by framing it. And it's like when you say, is he
thank you.
You say he's fucking with a federally lawful operation here. That is the foundation of the issue. Is who are these federal agents? Who are these people?
Taylor, you're fucking wrong.
Of course he is. Look at him charge at him, Woody.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him shield himself from the chemicals and the beating. He's asking for it. He's charging right at him.
Wow.
But this is federal agents and deadly force. That's the debate. What's the deadly force here? Who are these federal agents? Who are the people that are doing this? What's with the whole no badge? The whole no badge number masked up operation doesn't feel like a federal.
So these guys are
operation.
Taylor, right around 57.
I'm interested at 110. I'm trying to best see, because that's where it gets real.
So these guys aren't RS. They're Border Patrol. They're wearing body cams. So that body cam footage is out there, and Alex's footage that from what he's recording is out there. Not out there. It exists.
Wait, have they released it? I haven't seen that.
What I mean to say is it exists. I shouldn't have said out there. I just meant that it exists. Not that.
Wait, are there any? Because I would like to see their cameras. I haven't seen any of their cameras.
I think it's important to establish some true facts here. Like this idea that he's like interfering and he charges at them and like, wow, very off target. What happened is they two-hand shoved this woman, and then he like went to pick her up and they pepper spray him, and he's holding the camera and sort of defensively goes like this in a way no sane person could think is aggressive. And then they start beating the fuck out of him and disarming him and shooting him. And he doesn't show any aggression in this from beginning to end. You act like they were justified or that he was like working to disrupt a lawful operation. Like none of that happened.
He didn't do anything wrong. Nothing he did was wrong, and they would never teach a class where they taught that anything he did there was wrong. If anything, a class should be taught to law enforcement showing that nothing this guy did was wrong and you murdered him. And we don't know the name of the officers that shot him. We don't know any of that stuff. They've literally whisked them out of the state and put them somewhere else. We don't know where. They say now they're on administrative leave, but that's only because Homand is in, and I don't know, Short Hitler or whatever his name is out. I like Homand, by the way. I'm all for the ice.
That guy's a criminal. He's a crook, though.
Homand?
He's the guy who got him out for Obama. Like I would need him in there. This is the guy who engineered the $3 million Obama.
Obama gave him some like presidential rank award.
$50,000 cash in a brown paper bag for a bribe doesn't rub me the right way.
Guys got to make a living.
Yeah, he's literally
Sopranos. That was probably just.
That's why he lost that job. That like he got out because he got caught taking bribes, and now they're putting him back in because the other guy's a fucking Nazi.
Do you know what the bribe was for, or anything related to the bribe? Because I do remember the $50,000 in a paper bag, and they asked him point blank on like I don't know CNN, Fox News, somewhere like that. Like you didn't take a bag full of money, did you? And he's like, I didn't do anything illegal. Nothing I did was against the law, and everything I've ever done was lawful.
You're almost going Jesse Ventura with him.
He's got like a mouthful of teeth. He's like he's always
got so many teeth.
It sounds like he's like not quite done with a bite of food.
It's fun.
What bothered me a lot in this shooting and the other one is the Trump administration immediately comes out with a ton of lies, stuff that's like obviously disprovable. And in this case, it was like, there's no reason to have that many bullets. There's no reason to have a backup magazine. There's no reason to bring a gun to a protest. He was obviously there to massacre the agents. The agents were the victims in this situation. And I'm like, oh my God, like everyone can see the video. This is well documented. And the brazenness in which they tell lies rubs me the wrong way. I don't like
Trump
this
is always
one
bad
bit.
When he brings up, this is more general, but he reveals himself to be like a New York lib every time he opens his mouth on guns. He doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to anything to do with firearms, guns, what gun lovers like. Like, has he ever shot a gun?
No,
I would doubt it.
His sons hunt, and he has no idea. He said something like, you can't have the guns. Guns are bad. And the 2 magazines, that's some bad stuff. And it's like, is it?
I saw his comments on that, and that was
one
retarded.
Extra magazine. He had 1 extra magazine. That's some bad stuff. And look, if this were in a vacuum, that would be one thing, but it's not in a vacuum. It's in a political climate where, going back the last 10, 15 years, even to the 70s with the Black Panther movement, protesters have shown up heavily armed, mostly on the right, heavily armed to these things. I remember they were at some Capitol building like 4 or 5 years ago, and everybody's got, one of them had an F-2000, your FNF F-2000.
Yeah,
one of them's they got them on tactical slings. They're wearing camouflage, and it's just a bunch of white dudes at the state capitol flexing that this is legal. You can't bar me from my state capitol. Here I am holding and bearing arms, or showing up at protests. Again, locked and fucking loaded, AR-15s, and they'll go ahead and put a Gomer Pyle helmet on for some reason too. And it's just like, I like all that shit. I see people talking about now that most, liberals saying that all of a sudden now that we're buying guns, the conservatives don't like it. And I'm like, that ain't
I'm down
me.
with them. I'm down with them.
I love seeing a fucking cat boy with a machine gun as much as I like seeing Billy in his overalls with 1 bib undone and a double barrel shotgun. Everyone needs 50 fucking guns, machine guns, artillery, rocket launchers. That's my number 1 issue above all the other amendments is the second.
Guns. Yeah.
Over economics,
to murder federal agents.
Policy.
They described him as a would-be assassin. They said he intended to massacre the officers. This is
that's
a
retarded.
level of
that's just not honest in regard to the situation.
Every topic on everything that ever comes up, these guys tell the most outlandish lies. And I sometimes feel like I'm the only one who hates it.
Where do you guys come down on the, because you're right, that's a ridiculous framing of it. That's
it's not like true. When a YouTuber talks about something that you thought was smart, talks about something in your wheelhouse, and you realize like, oh my God, I've heard people talk about Elon Musk in that way. Like, he talked about cars. I didn't know anything about cars, so I thought he was a genius. He talked about space, so I don't know anything about space. I thought he was a genius. And then he talked about coding. And I'm a coder. He's not a genius. And the same things happen here with these fucking blatant lies, because there are plenty of topics that I'm not that well informed on politically. And maybe I don't take their word 100%, but I take their word 90%. I'm like, maybe embellished a little.
It's too much.
Maybe it wasn't exactly the way they said, but it is the thing, right? No, they're happy to flat out make things up and lie to your face. There's a quote from Andor where it's very similar situation, and there's government propaganda, and she's like, the most insulting thing is they don't even bother to tell a convincing lie anymore. That's the final insult. Like, they'll just lie to your face with just clear, blatant falsehood and watch you eat their shit because you don't have any other choice, because they have all the power. I hate that.
What's the 1984 quote? Like, their final and most important order was to stop believing your eyes and ears and start believing the government. Something like that. That is
something like
where
that.
it feels like we are. Yeah. And
I saw that. I mean, I've been seeing that for a hot minute. That's been going for a while, where they're like, oh, don't pay attention to your eyes and ears. Immigrants are actually, these illegals aren't even a big problem like this.